Hey everyone, how you doing?
Hey, Rob.
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great, Ontario. Good to see all of you.
Yeah, it's good
You
to
know,
be
as much
here.
as I want to see of you, because
Yeah, well,
you're
good to
doing
Oh,
this.
love us, Dan.
And look at me trying to catch up to retired Navy Rob. I'm not doing the ZZ Top, man.
tell you what, he's got it going on.
He does have it going on.
My one son has curly hair from his mother, but he's got a auburn colored beard,
Oh, wow.
and the way it grows in, it looks just like an Amishman.
Do you have to call him Caleb or anything like that?
His name's already Zachary, so
No, that's kind of close, but not close enough. To be full on Amish.
I'll change it to Zachadiah.
There. That's
Hey.
it. That now you're talking. Can you do that after 20 years? I don't know.
I'd have a little pushback.
We'll try to get away with it. Looks like we actually have some people in there with us now.
Great. Welcome.
Let's see who we got here. We got Lisa Anderson. How you doing? We got Totally BS, banknotes and stamps and coins. That's that was actually Totally BS. Or no, not him. This one. Sorry, clicked the wrong one. So if you ever get a chance, go check out Totally BS banknotes and stamps.
Okay.
Got some nice stuff.
All
We got
right.
Jeff Davis out there.
Hello, Jeff.
I got K Collector.
Welcome.
4K. How are you, Jeff? How are you? Don McComb, Sneaky Pierre. All you people are losers. No.
You got nothing better to do on a Friday afternoon than be with us.
Bonsoir, mon ami, Rob. What's up with that? A little.
That is Totally BS banknotes and stamps.
That's him. All right.
All right.
Totally BS. I need you to talk to me more on your videos. They're just fabulous, but I go to sleep. I watch most of my YouTube when I on TV when I'm in bed. I know that sounds a little weird.
Hey, whatever puts you to sleep, right?
Well, you for sure do.
I know I do.
Emilio.
Hey,
Come on, Emilio. What time is it? Well, it's close to midnight. It's not that far off for you.
yeah, it's
Emilio.
like Totally BS is 6 hours ahead, so you know it's late for him.
Yeah.
But he is starting to be more face on his videos, so give him time, Dan.
I know it. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for the shout out. Hi. Back at you. This is going to be interesting. It's 11 here. So you're 7 hours. That's math. I can do math.
Wow. One of you guys will
Yeah.
have to let me know if I need to say anything to anybody because I can't see the chat.
Do you have the comments up?
You should have them up. It's fairly
Yeah,
easy. I mean,
studio
Ontario,
chat.
I'm
wait.
having a little sound from you, by the way.
Volume.
Your volume's a little low.
Good. Let's see. How about now? Is that better?
I don't know, Rob. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing him fine. I think, is your volume up on your computer?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. I hear you the music.
Okay. Is that music too loud?
A little bit.
Okay, let me.
Okay, Walker Magnet. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, I can now see the comment.
Mine just came up automatically, just FYI, Ontario, so I couldn't tell you how to do it. That's why I didn't say anything.
I got it going.
'Cause,
You can you hear me better, Dan?
Oh,
yes, That is better.
All right. I turned the volume up on the computer as high as it'll go.
Hey, Lee, how are you? Yep, I do need to get a hold of you. But literally, I got in from off of work like 10 minutes before I got onto this thing. It's been weird busy.
Yep.
So is that busy time of the year for historians?
It is for us. We got a lot of tours going on, a lot of presentations going on. I do got 3 gangster tours that we put people on buses and go around our area to visit the places where legit gangsters actually hung out, like Ma Barker and Creepy Carpus and Babyface Nelson. They were all up in my neck of the woods.
Wow.
Doing a little vacationing.
Yeah.
When they were up here. St. Paul was a safe city back in the day, so they didn't give a crap if you did prohibition wasn't taken seriously on this side of the river. Now the Lutherans on the other side, they're like, no, not going to have any of that. So all the gangsters did, they had to check in, and if the FBI would come along, because the prohibition was a federal crime or a federal law, and they would check in, and maybe the local police might help the gangsters because they spent money. They rented places and things like that. And
when I lived in Chicago, we used to go up to this bar up in Milwaukee. It was called the Safe House, and it was actually a speakeasy that you go in through a bookstore.
Oh, nice.
And you had to go give them the code at the front, and then they'd open up a side door behind this bookshelf and go down into the speakeasy, the bar.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, we've got houses that were built like, nobody thought the prohibition would last that long. So by 25, 26, people were building houses with speakeasies, but the speakeasies, you didn't need a secret knock. I mean, it was just like the worst kept secret ever. The St. Paul area just it wasn't that big a deal. Which it wasn't for half the country.
Right.
But I mean, I've been in bars in Chicago that they actually had a thing on the bar that it would flip down and all the bottles would fall down and break on concrete. And they actually had the water running through it to wash it all away.
Wash it away. We just got broken glass down here. That's all we got.
Hilarious.
Yeah. But it's some interesting, fun stuff out there.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, polar currency, we did finally, it has been smoking hot here in Minnesota throughout the fall. And I could puke at another 90-degree day. We finally got in the 40s and might have got our first frost. I saw frost on the lawn for the first time this fall, which is late for us.
Got a shout out to A3 Sky Warrior. How you doing, brother? Fellow Navy vet.
All right.
Fellow AD mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Got Heather out there. That's collector.
Yeah.
Collector.
Like a tiger growl.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't do it.
That's just it. Heather, 90. I mean, we were getting some of that, maybe not high 80s, which was obviously, I don't like hot weather, not because I'm polar, but my hometown is White Bear Lake is where I'm from. So there's the whole polar bear thing there.
Yeah, there goes the neighborhood. Big Apples here.
What a fugazi.
This is the same guy. Get out of here.
Hang on, we got it here.
Big Apple, you have been very quiet lately. I'm concerned. Very concerned.
Scary.
Yeah, I was talking to him earlier. He's doing okay. But let's see here. All right. So, although I'm the host and Dan, you want to lead this off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Your browser has been blocked. Your screen. I'm trying to click on the icon. Just want to make sure my. I'm going to try screen sharing because
Yeah, we're a real professional organization here, so bear
we're
with me.
very, 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 very professional. Professional. Now I might as well share my entire screen. Why not? Allow. Are you guys seeing my screen?
No.
No, but I can add it. Hang on. There we go.
There it goes.
So you're seeing the obsolete book of dummies, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got that in Excel or not PowerPoint?
It's in Google, their version, which they call something.
Slides. I think it's Google Slides.
Google Slides, yes.
That's it.
Okay, I was going to say because you can actually upload it when you do the.
Yeah, I mean, I will provide this link. This will stay there. People can see it.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out. I don't slideshow. There we go. So now we're full screen, right? You don't see the rest of my stuff.
No, that's all we see now.
All right. So we're gonna go back. I'm gonna stop sharing, Rob.
Okay.
How do I do that? Stop share.
I can take you out. Hang on.
Did you already kick me out?
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, I mean, we as far as let's get to this. I was vacuuming and cooking and ended up here. Oh, Heather, you have a lot of issues that are opportunities. An issue is always an opportunity.
There you go.
So all right, so we are kind of the of our little eclectic group of collectors. We love the obsolete banknotes, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We want other people to love it, learn it. And I guess the best comparison, I was very fearful. I got into obsoletes, started collecting 4 years ago, a little bit here and there, dabbling, I would say. And what I guess is that you've got your different areas of currency collecting. So most people are very comfortable collecting U.S. currency. That's pretty obvious. Small size, large size, whatever. There's pricing, there's availability of being able to buy it at multiple locations, right? eBay, Heritage, whatever. And that's true with that's also true with obsoletes, but no one ever seems to go there, or at least for U.S. currency. Well, obsolete is U.S. currency, and to define what is an obsolete banknote, keep in mind I'm going to keep this as short as possible from the historical aspect. All right, so the United States becomes a country, and in the Constitution, folks, it says nobody can coin money. It doesn't say print money. So call it a loophole, call it whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say people can't print money. Now, it does say that the state can't do it. So what wound up happening is that states say, okay, we're not going to do it, but we're going to regulate it. So each state regulated the issuing of currency from, let's say, private institutions, but it doesn't necessarily mean private institution. So the banknotes started coming out in the early 1790s because there wasn't enough gold, there wasn't enough silver. The country kept doubling in population roughly every 10 years. So what do you do about that? You need to make transactions. So local banks began issuing and printing their own currency. So it was only as good as the bank is. And you'll hear terms like wildcat. That's a term that came out of Michigan in the year 1830s. And were they reliable? Well, yeah, they were reliable. For the most part, they really were. But the farther away you get from that bank, that note would be discounted. So if I'm 100 miles away, it's worth 25 cents. If I'm 25 miles away, it's worth 75 cents. If I'm right in the city, it's worth face value of what it was. And people would go in and they would give silver or gold, and they would get this paper currency in return. So if it wasn't for that paper currency, I don't know what the United States would have done. So if you were a legit bank, which again most were, so fast forward to the 1820s is when obsolete currency really, the printing of that started to become good. Counterfeiting was a lot harder, and that was again issue in the early days, 1790s, 1810s. But by the 1820s, it was becoming harder and harder to counterfeit. So that's, and then all of a sudden, fast forward for 40 years until 1861, when the U.S. created the Currency Bureau, and then in 1862 printed the first real paper money that was issued specifically to circulate. The 1861 demand notes were not really intended to circulate. If you saw the print numbers on it, you'd go, "That's why'd they even do it?" Call it a test run. All right.
Right.
Well, at the same time, what the U.S. did said, well, anybody can still print their own currency. We're not saying that's illegal. We're just going to tax you to do that. It no longer was profitable for the local banks to do it. And by 1870, most had been done doing it. But beyond 1870, when you're getting close to the Mississippi River, there's still not enough gold. You know, the railroad, I can't remember when the transcontinental went through, doesn't really matter because there wasn't multiple railroads going from California to here.
Right.
Keep in mind, silver and gold had to go all the way either to Panama, put on a cart, go across Panama, or it had to go all the way around South America and come back up.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of silver and gold in the Midwest to the Mississippi River and then past that into the high plains before the Rocky Mountains. So what do? That's where obsolete banknotes came in.
Right.
But it wasn't for very long, right? Because those states didn't get populated. But there was still a need for that. So you'll hear things like warrant notices or warrant notes, or there's different variations of obsolete banknote terms. So we're not going to get into that too much, but you'll hear it coming from some of the stuff that I'll show.
Right.
So that really is where obsolete banknotes came in. And just like the continental dollar, we wouldn't be the same country today without obsolete banknotes. But national banknotes really, I could say really about 8 more times, replaced obsolete banknotes. They really did. And I would compare collecting obsolete banknotes to nationals. When you hear folks talking about collecting nationals, they're, hey, it's local. It's my hometown, county, state. I'm trying to get as many of the banks in my state that I can collect, or a region. Or I'm going to get, like, I have my 2 collections for obsolete banknotes is I have the president collection, which I've done a couple videos on already, where the U.S. president's depicted on obsolete banknotes. And then I also have put together one from each of the lower 48 states. Now, underneath obsolete banknotes, I said, yeah, there's warrant off notes and there's scrip. Scrip is the other big subcategory of obsoletes. And this is where stores, railroad, businesses, coal companies, they would issue their own money, some with not so good intentions. If you've ever heard of the coal mining towns and the company store, I owe my soul to the company store, because you would charge you more than you're making and buying your day-to-day items. And there was no town for you to go to compete with. So all that is part of obsolete currency story.
Right.
It's like the Elvis note that I got. You know, it was issued by the glass company.
Right.
And right next door to the bank owned by the glass company was a store owned by the glass company for you to be able to go in and spend your obsolete money in. And there wasn't much more than that.
You guys got anything to add to that?
I've got a few figures. I like to dig for that. What I was able to find, there were more than 3,000 different banks actually issued banknotes, and over 50,000 distinctive designs are known to exist.
50,000.
So because of that, if you think about that and compare it even to coins, I'm sorry, Dan, but if you compare it to coins, there aren't anywhere near that many coins to collect, different varieties. So that's an interesting fact. Also, because of that number, no collector has ever even collected half of the known varieties of obsolete currency because there's so many of them. The point I'm trying to make is you can go in a lot of different directions with this stuff. There's a lot of ways you can collect by location, by vignette, by denomination. As you say, scrip, if you prefer that, just the banknotes, whatever floats your boat. And Dan's getting a book, so this is going to be a while.
Yeah, so I have a little more blurry of a line for the boundaries of it.
Yeah.
I also like to throw in Confederate notes.
Okay.
CSA in the States because, I like to throw them in with that.
That is true. You could I don't know what Confederate notes I think fit best in an obsolete category only because there was not one other country that ever recognized the Confederacy as a nation.
All right.
So
hang on, France did.
Did they really?
That's part of the reason why Cinco de Mayo was a big deal because they were trying to get their foothold back into Mexico so they can do trading with France, with the Confederate. But that's something that I saw on one of them little late night specials that Dan probably wrote.
Oh, Rob, I'm going to correct you. I'm sorry. It's coming up multiple times. No, they were not. They never officially recognized. But they were certainly friendly. They're on the border. It's like England. England wanted to recognize the Confederacy for the cotton. Yeah. But, it's like, what do you call it? It wasn't a foreign currency. Well, it could be. Could call it a world banknote, technically. Texas is the other one, right? The notes that were issued by Texas. They were from another country. Is that an obsolete banknote or is that world banknotes? Is that a foreign currency? I count it as obsolete. I'm with you, Rob. I blur them.
Yeah, I throw it in there too, but technically it's world currency.
Right.
How about obsolete country? And then that way you can
right.
Put it in that way.
But it's a blurred line, but it's you got to find some place to kind of throw it in there. And they kind of fit with each other.
Right.
I mean, but think of obsolete in the multiple different categories. It's really no different than legal tender notes, silver certificates, gold certificates, Federal Reserve notes, national bank notes, Federal Reserve national bank notes. So, I mean, there are multiple categories in that. So, is it a deep dive? Yeah, it is a deep dive. And if there's, I'm going to say it as there's a book, the first book I would tell you to get to explain it is actually this one, The Paper Money Obsolete by Q. David Bowers. This is it's kind of like the introduction to the whole series of books, but this will break it down. And there's also another one where they get into it, The Obsolete Volume 1.
Yeah, I have that one. Yeah.
That's one I got.
This is also I don't think it's as good a detailed as the other one.
Yeah.
But it's still really good. So if you want to buy one,
yeah.
But if you really want to buy something for $25 or less, I'm going to say get this book.
Yeah. I just got mine last week.
Great.
So Rob, just think it's really a simple book, but what they get into, and one of the things about collecting national banknotes is really it's really all about the vignette.
Yeah.
So they break it down in this book and they kind of show you how cool it is. Here's the whaling industry. Here's sailors. Here's our agriculture. Here's trains. Trains is huge. It's very cool. But what they do, they go even better. If they talk about a vignette in the book, they will show the full note in color, and it's half the book. So half the book they're talking about, hey, I'll call it a heavy reading coffee table book. Yeah. And literally you should be able to find it it's printed in the USA, $25, $25.22 in Canada, but that was before the tariffs, Yeah.
I just picked up a used one for $36.
Yeah, I've seen it for as high as $50.
Yeah. So for these type of books, you got to think it's okay to get it used because it's a currency collector that has it. So it's not going to be something that, someone was thrown in the back of their car or what have you. You know, they're going to take care of the book. You know, maybe someone died and now their grandkids are selling their books or what have you.
Right.
But they're well kept books.
Okay, God is great. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments, Rob, but he's
Yeah,
asking
I
why
love
they're two.
Why they're
Why is there a skinny Santa with a big beard and a fat Santa with a small beard?
That's hilarious.
That is like, and what God is great doesn't know is that I do play Santa that's why you see my beard come and go. I grow it out and I play Santa for December. Not professionally, mind you. You know, it's just, you know, the kids come up and there's nothing better. Seriously, I'm going to sidebar this. There's nothing better than, you know, the kids like, you know, they want this for Christmas and you just tell them, you know what, kid, that's really good. It's your fault that your mom and dad are divorced and you're not going to do anything this year.
That's hilarious.
So, you know, I try to tell that to as many kids as possible. You know, it's like a bad Wednesday afternoon school special, if you remember that.
Yeah.
I saw what you did last week, Johnny. You're not getting that.
Well, anyways, so many areas for things, and somebody just wrote it in the notes too. There you go, Laurent Filete. Who is that? Is that our?
That's totally BS.
That's totally BS. Some are true pieces of art. That is correct.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I will say that they're nowhere near. You know, and I'm sorry, I've recently done so many of the French colonies and the French notes.
Yes.
You know, that's some true art on those. But
right.
I mean, if they were to, the only thing they could do better on, let's say half of them, Rob, is to use the color of those French influenced banknotes. But they don't. And that's the thing about, there's not a lot of color in obsolete banknotes. I mean, basically you have 3 versions of obsolete banknotes. You'll have a black and white. Again, why isn't there a lot of color? There is some. Bankers are notoriously frugal. So the cheapest note that they can get is a black and white thin paper and not printed anything on the back. And they call that a uniface note. Not that you can't say, well, there's nothing on the back. You can say that too. But if you hear that term, that's what it means, uniface, nothing on the back. So you got the black and white, then you got the black and white, and they'll print an overprint using some sort of color design. Usually involves the denomination, but not at all always that. And then you get the ones, these are the good ones. These are the ones that we like, is that they have color on the front, black and white, and they have a printed back.
You're looking at a lot of your New Orleans notes, your Louisiana notes, Alabama, Mississippi.
That they are the ones that did a great job with that. New Orleans specifically is what I'm aware of, and where you're going to see a Kentucky note that Ontario has in our little show here, and that's all we're looking to do is do that. Anybody, you guys want to talk about pricing of where these can price out? Ontario, Rob?
Well, pricing has a lot to do with popularity, as it does on anything. You can have a note that's really not that rare, but if it's popular, if it's got a vignette on it that people like, I'll show you this. I hadn't planned on showing it, but I'll bring that into the screen. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, you're blowing up. You're good.
This is a note I just picked up at the show I've had yesterday, and I don't collect Confederate notes, but my understanding is that's a rare vignette over there, Indian Princess, and so this is a very highly collectible note because of that. It's like an also ran. It's like a second place note. If the person can't afford the Confederate note, they buy this one. So.
Well, and there's the example of an overprint going on that. Yes. And by the way, you will see if there's there's probably the 3 biggest themes are nautical, and it's understandable because that was our highways, right? Whether it be river or ocean, a lot of the big cities that had the banks were on the coasts or on the rivers. So, and then you'll have railroads that become a big thing because it's, again, if you had a railroad running anywhere near you, that was big time. That was industry and technology and connection to the rest of the world. That was very important to show
And then
off.
the Native American themes.
And Native American themes.
Yes.
And it's ironic as hell, but it is. I mean, it's a lot of Native American.
Also,
And some of these
Like you
notes-
said, one of the things I love is it gives you a window into life at that time as well.
yes,
yeah,
it
good
tells
point.
a story. I think it tells a story when you look at it.
Like this note I'm going to throw up here real quick. It if you look at the look on this guy, you know they had a hard life. Come on.
Yeah,
But just look at that guy leaning over the anvil, holding his hammer. You know, you can just look at him and see how exhausting he is, you know?
He's about to get whacked by the lady with the rake and get back to work, buddy.
And that's probably basically what it was, too. Honey, you got to shoot them horses.
Oh, see, this is okay. So Ontario, you shared this note with me offline. This is possibly one of this is like my new favorite note. One, I'm an orange fan.
beautiful note.
Look at that vignette of that side wheel paddle steamer. I mean, the American flag. I mean, come on.
That's a great.
I mean, that's stunning, Ontario.
Yeah.
What type of, by the way, what type of note of obsolete is that, Ontario? Because that's another thing about obsolete banknotes.
What do you mean?
Is that
It's
a bond?
not signed or dated or doesn't have a number.
Oh, it's a. You mean like a remainder? It's a remainder.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, go ahead, Ontario.
No, that's all I was going to say. It's a remainder note. I just picked it up because, hey, I just liked it. I just thought it was pretty.
It's stunning. I mean, seriously, it's that vignette is awesome and got the anchor happening and the orange and the, kaleidoscope engraving. But again, flip it over and what are you going to see?
And you got nothing.
But look how thin this paper is.
Papers.
I mean, Ontario, if you got a little bit of light behind there, you can see your finger through the note.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's like rice paper.
Yeah, it's.
I'm going to take this note out very gently and just show you. I let that kind of settle down, but you can see how thin this paper is.
And this is not the thinnest paper I've seen.
Oh, this note's probably uncirculated or close to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's ones that are just like you said, tissue paper.
Just like
That
tissue.
you wonder how it's existed this long.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful note. But yes, it's very delicate.
Yeah. Emilio is asking, is that the series with the bison hunting scene on it? There is a great bison hunting.
That's another
Native
one.
American. Is that part of that?
No. But just let me slip this back in the sleeve here and I'll show you that. I'll show you the other one. I think I've got that note here.
While he's doing that carefully, because good job, Ontario. I'd have the shakes.
What's up? No, I got it. Let me see if I can find that. I think I have that note. Yeah, here it is. That's from the Western Exchange, is what he's talking about. I think.
Oh yeah,
Oh, they're beautiful.
this is the other note has them the native coming up on the buffalo and stabbing it. But
Yes.
Look at that background.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's just,
the train and the buffalo. I think that's called buffalo hunt, isn't it? I believe.
I don't know. But this is a good example. This is still a remainder note. By the way, if you're getting a grading, it tells you that. But some people, but it's got a number on it. That doesn't matter. The note has to be, it's got to be dated, signed, and has a serial number on it. And you'll get some folks out there, I think they're kind of snotty, to be honest.
No.
Where they're like, well, that's not a banknote. That was never issued. Okay. Here's some peanuts for you to pick out of that shit pile over here. I mean, it's just.
There's no third charter.
Right.
Oh. I think this is what you were talking about.
Oh, see, these Kentucky notes. I just had no idea that. I mean, man.
In the backs.
And that's what I say. Wait for it, because when I flip this one over,
Kaboom.
there you go.
Look at that. That is so cool. So that costs some money.
And when you get close, I think you can see the little fives in it. might not come through
All that
Yeah,
micro
There it
print.
is. There it is.
in the background. Yeah, that was a lot of work.
To think they engraved these by hand backwards.
Yeah,
You know, they were limited. They didn't have, you know, electric light.
no,
And by the way, with banknotes, I mean, going back, so you've got Native Americans, agriculture as that note was a huge theme. And those are probably your four big scenes: the nautical,
Yeah.
agriculture, Native American.
yes,
But you'll get industry in there also. It's kind of cool to see. So that's a common thread that you'll see, but it's like they're so different.
they'll use things like this. They'll use, Roman and Greek mythology figures and things like that as well.
The allegorical figures, and the portraits that you'll find on them. It's like, well, who is that small portrait of? A lot of times you have no clue. Usually it's a local banker or it's a bank officer. They love putting, Daniel Webster on it, Calhoun.
Oh yeah, that's Calhoun at the bottom. Yeah.
North and South, by the way. It just because Webster's a North guy,
Yeah.
Calhoun's a South guy, but they would put those Washington. The presidents were, depending on the president, you would see a lot of them on there. Look at that native.
Oops, I took them out. Hang on.
All right, I'll wait.
Wow, poor
Let me
Ontario.
do this.
I know.
Hang on. Let me change us to. Okay, that's not what I want to do.
So while Rob's figuring us out, pricing a little bit on this. Oh, there we go. We'll go back down, Terry.
These notes, the ones like the Kentucky note, you're going to pay between $200 and $250 for something like that.
Yeah.
This note is around $200 even, the one I'm holding here now.
But you know, if you want to make a little bit of a sacrifice and go down to like a grade 12, you can pick that up a little bit cheaper. But
Absolutely.
that's where you gotta make some sacrifices sometimes.
This note was $150, which I thought was good for a note like that. So.
And they're out there. I know they are, but when you hear $500, that's like, wow. I mean,
a lot.
I figured out with all my obsolete notes, the average price that I paid was $109, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
All my obsoletes. But with the pricing, what's hard about pricing is that you don't have up-to-date guides. There are, there's this whole series of books by Obsolete Paper Money. They cover about a third of the country and kind of stop. You've got Don Kelly's Blue Book that covers the entire country, but not all the notes. His pricing is at least 10 years old at best.
There's just too many of them out there.
Right. There's so many.
And
so it kind of gets to the nationals too. It's Ontario. You said it earlier. Popularity is going to drive that note up. How do you put a value on that?
Well, and some of these notes trade infrequently too. As far as auction records is what I mean.
Right.
The note may be fairly common, but you only see the high grade expensive ones in the auction houses. That doesn't necessarily mean all of them cost that much. So it's hard.
And like you said, they're popular, so people are holding on to them.
Exactly.
Well, if I was, all right. Let me see what I can.
To me, obsoletes trade more like tokens or metals, almost. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
They kind of trade like that.
All right, so I'm gonna switch my camera.
I want to say one more thing while he's doing that too. One thing to keep in mind while I'm thinking about it. Sometimes a signed, circulated note is worth more than a remainder note. The exact same note is what I'm trying to say. Also keep that in mind.
Because especially if you got a signed, circulated one that's in good condition compared to a remainder in good condition because it survived.
That's right. And in some cases, the circulated notes are worth more than the proofs. I've seen that.
Proofs is a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's another video. But anyway,
Sorry, I put up the wrong note, but
it looks like the right note to me. That's pretty.
That's a beautiful note.
well, it's a good example because notice where it's from. We're out there in Jeff Davis country.
Yeah.
All right, this is Charleston, Virginia. Well, here's the thing with banknotes is that with the obsoletes, and I apologize for the lighting, but I'm getting reflection off the window, and that's as good as it's going to get. To put together my state collection, there are very few West Virginia obsoletes because obsoletes were ending. West Virginia became a U.S. state during the Civil War. So there's not a lot of obsolete banks. Plus, West Virginia is a very small population state at the time, still is.
Right.
So this one cost me $100.
Yeah.
And this is where it's like, okay, it's a grade 20. That's great. But it's like I needed to fill a hole. And this is where it's kind of fun where you see the overprint.
Yeah.
And you'll see that come through. But this is the note I actually wanted to talk about.
No, that's pretty cool.
And this gets in. I love this is a scrip. Okay, it's issued by the Jewett and Pitcher lumber merchants, and it's backed by the National Bank of Commerce. And I don't know if that's blood on it, but I love the scene. The guy's smoking pipe, having taken a hit off his one hitter. The other guy's chopping down a tree. But this is a Michigan note. And what's kind of cool is that this does have a back on it.
Yep.
And you can say, hey, repaired rust, all that kind of thing. But you can find deals on this. So I can tell you, I was talking to Dean from Massabesic Gold one morning on a Saturday. And I was saying, yeah, I'm trying to get a Michigan note. This is before I got my Singapore notes. The town that sank under sand from that video.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, I'm surfing that. There's a Michigan note right now. It's a 12 net. It's ugly, but it's kind of cool ugly, which I would put this in. And it was for $12, and it was an auction. I got it shipped to me for a total of $17.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
So the other aspects of what's a different banknote type? It's like, all right, here's another one that I love.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys call this one?
It's a defense bond.
It's a defense bond. It falls into the obsolete category, but this was issued by the Confederate state government of Missouri out of Natchez, I think, was their capital before the Union ran them into Texas.
Right.
So they issued these guys. I love the denomination, $4.50. It's what they paid the Confederate soldiers in that were fighting for state regiments at the time.
Right.
So it's like, well, what's that? I don't know what it is. Going way off the banknote. Okay, so you get into some of the states. If you're looking at doing a U.S. state collection, some of them get really, 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 really spendy. So let's go to Idaho and see what we can find.
Oh.
This is a highly oversized. This is an oversized note. Let me see if I can find a one here. We'll put that in front of it. You can see how big it is.
Oh yeah.
But this is an Office of Auditors of Alturas County School warrant note. So they would sell these things, and it was like, well, the guy wanted to pay $25.74 for it. It's not a check, but whoever held this note, you could go to the Office of Auditor of Alturas County in Idaho. It's a territory too, which is kind of cool.
Right.
I got this one, and there's a similar one. All right. And I got 3 notes, and I actually gave my $10 version of this to Jeff Davis for helping me out on a video.
Cool.
So I got this created, and this is from Safford and Hudson out of Tucson, Arizona. And by the way, stay tuned. I'm going to Tucson for Ben the Coin Geeks show and a little vacation with my family in January. We got a good video coming on this bank. But I got those 3 notes, the 10, the 20, and that Alturas one for $44.
Yeah,
Sorry, Jeff.
Wow.
It's a cheap gift. I apologize.
Well, Dan, I'm sorry I got to say it because you always say the corny shit. So when you're in Tucson, Arizona, are you going to go up to Tacoma?
No.
Sorry.
This is my blurry one. Again, you look at the size of these notes.
Yeah.
So this is a war bond sold by Arkansas. Arkansas is a tough state because those ones that became states in the 1850s, late 1840s, they didn't have a lot of banks. Then they went Confederate. So this was issued by the state of Arkansas. It's got the little, you could turn it in and get your money, you get your interest paid as you slowly took off the chatter from that. And there's nothing on the back. But those are some weird ones. And the weirdest one, well, not yet. I'm not done yet. Here's some scrip right there from the state of North Dakota. And finding these are actually, this is cheap. The note costs more, it costs less for me than to get it graded, which was $22 plus shipping.
Wow.
But this is a self-liquidating tax certificate issued during 1933. It's called Depression Scrip. So folks couldn't get cash. They were trying to help out people. And so Depression Scrip was a big thing during that. And it just wasn't during that time frame either.
Kind of like the hard time tokens of Johnson.
Right.
Right.
You get into Wyoming, another tough state. But these aren't, this is like $60, I think the price was this.
Right.
That's not bad.
You know, and it's kind of
Any
fun.
Mormon money?
That what?
Do you have any Mormon money?
I don't. But
I never can find it at a good price. Every time I see it, it's one of them examples. It's not rare, but it's popular.
Popular.
It's got a great story, you know.
Do you have the mining certificates from Nevada?
That is actually out being graded right now.
Okay, cool.
This is another. You'll hear this term again. This is possibly one of my personal favorite notes. I've showed it before. It's getting a little bowed in there. I love it because Andrew Johnson on it, and he was possibly the biggest piece of garbage president we ever had. And I thought it was just so weird that he was on U.S. obsolete currency. By the way, let's talk about these gals a little bit. They're called maidens. And I don't know I don't know why the folks in the middle of the 19th century loved to put on these random maidens to fill space.
It looks like they're Shining twins.
It's just weird. And you'll see that this is, they'll say it's cut canceled too, where they actually didn't call that out. Sometimes they do. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can.
Yeah.
It's like the sharpest razor blade went in and cut canceled, and that's a normal part of the thing because when the note got redeemed.
Right.
And you'll notice this should look familiar if you know your 1862, 1863 reverses on the legal tender notes. Because it was made by the same company. It's the American Banknote Company.
Right.
So it's very, very similar design. So those are that's called a post note because it was issued by the state of Louisiana.
Cool.
And my last kind of different one that kind of all-inclusive to obsoletes. Wow, this one I love this.
Oh yeah, $3,000.
So can you imagine how much money this was?
It was tremendous.
This was issued to the third charter of the Bank of the United States that really didn't make it. It did. It says it was issued from Philadelphia, but it's like in New York. It's weird. That's where you had to go, even though it says Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So I've seen it in the books as this and that. This was not. These are not cheap. I mean, this is one of my more expensive ones. I think it was $250.
expensive. Yeah.
That's expensive for that, but it's such a cool note, and to see how many times it was redeemed.
Oh yeah,
is fascinating to read that.
Yeah.
So, oh, I did have some fun ones left over. This one, I didn't take the condom off. How about that for a denomination?
How about that?
But Spearfish, South Dakota. How cool is that?
Spearfish, yeah.
And oh, wait a minute, Rob. I'm going to take this out of.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sliding them out of their currency columns.
I forgot about my Utah note.
There you go.
There you go.
Bishop's General Store. That's Mormon money right there.
There you go.
So again, this would be considered scrip.
Yeah.
On that, let it focus. And I think I'm finally done with the weird. Oh, this is one Andy from Andy's Notes sold me this note. This is really weird.
What?
Depression script from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
How about that?
I know. This barter and trade certificate, from the Organized Unemployed Inc. people. So again, this was a hand up, not a handout type thing. Work, not dole. Things like that. So some fun stuff.
Good.
That should cover the different types of notes.
Yes.
Anybody else? I can be done.
I've got to put one up of my bad president notes. You were talking about Andrew Johnson. I've got to.
Yeah, these guys compete.
Yeah. Another pretty bad one, James Buchanan.
That's a beautiful note, though. I love that vignette on the left.
Oh, it is.
Another reason I wanted to show this is this note was very inexpensive. There must be a ton left. I think I got this in a group in an auction for, I think it was $35. I think is what I paid for that.
So a little hint, if me and Ontario both have the same obsolete banknote, which that is my note for Maine,
right?
It's inexpensive.
Yeah. Well, I got this one also.
Oh yeah, I love this.
$35. So you see,
and that's another thing that you said earlier. If you go on Heritage, a lot of times they'll have raw notes that are in a bundle.
Yes.
And, you'll see one note displayed, but you start reading it and say 6 examples.
Right.
And you open it up and you can go through it. And you can pick them up at some damn good prices, after you pay, you may pay $200 for the lot, but there may be 5 notes in that lot.
Be 5 or 6 notes on it. This is another I love the engraving on that.
So,
it's all over the place.
And I love those, and you find it a lot on the Louisiana notes, but the cherubs inside the numbers.
Yeah. Was that a rod and hatch? I bet it is. 'Cause
let me see.
There's one banknote.
Yes,
company, they did stuff like that. They showed weird
rod and hatch. Yeah. Is that coming through? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We need to see some of Rob's notes.
Yeah, I got a couple here.
I bet
so. Let me go ahead, do this, and let me switch my camera. Come on.
Part of the
Operator error. There we go. But when we were talking about cut canceled earlier,
yes,
a lot of times you will not find Texas notes that are not missing a big triangle out of the middle, where like Dan said, you go down.
Wow,
that's beautiful.
That is unusual that you do not have that triangle gone. That's impressive. That's great.
But I mean, it is cut canceled now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can see, you see right there.
Yeah.
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 I mean, they slice them. Those
But like
razor
you
blades
said,
gotta be sharp.
it was just a guy with a stack of notes going nuts with a razor blade.
Ah, I see.
And they would cut them to cancel them so they weren't redeemable.
Right.
But 1839, I think this thing's in damn good condition.
Awesome.
That's the other thing. The Texas notes, it's not a great printing, and that's something that's common too with obsoletes. Depending on where you want to collect, the printing isn't great on a lot of them, especially pre-1850.
Oh yeah.
How are the prices on those, Rob? I see Emilio says that Texas notes are very expensive.
Yes, because they're both rare and popular.
I see.
Yes, you're gonna spend what, Rob? $300 minimum if you can find it.
At least there were some on Great Collections just recently that were in legacy holders, and they still went for a high price.
Wow.
Here's one I got at loose, just to show you how.
Yeah. Very thin.
But I love that ship vignette.
Oh yeah.
And the
You
sailor.
don't see blue very often, Rob. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yes, I love this note. And for a circulating note, it's pretty nice. And then, like we were saying, they reflect the area at the time.
Right.
Agricultural, you got your livestock, your sheep.
Yes. I like the
that's an earlier design. Look at that railroad.
I know.
Yeah.
And a dog. I mean, it's got a dog in the vignette. How cool is that? You can collect dogs.
You could, yeah.
What years is this? Can I focus that?
What state is that from?
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
1828.
That's an early one. That's 200 years old.
Yeah.
Then we were talking about, they sold bonds for the Reconstruction period.
Yep.
And this has a sinister background. This guy that right here signed it. What's his name?
Yeah.
Aaron Burke. He stole the plates and ran to South America. But before he did, he stole the plates and he printed up a bunch of counterfeit ones, and they can go by the serial number. And the counterfeit ones are actually worth more money than the real ones.
How about it?
But this is another one, has your little tickets here that you would slice off when you redeemed it.
I know I see those a lot.
And the back.
Yeah.
But this was during the Reconstruction time, the 1870s. So they were trying to make money to rebuild after the war. Yeah. So the state of Louisiana, because like Dan said, they said, okay, well, you can still print your own money, but we're going to put a tax on it.
Yeah.
But the loophole was, we'll make bonds. And people use these bonds as currency.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
It's known as a baby bond because the baby on the vignette.
Right.
Here's another Louisiana one. Now this one's a remainder because it's only signed once, no serial number, no date.
Wow.
But the back.
That's cool.
Yes. And we were talking about the Missouri defense bonds. Well, here's an actual, let me take it out of its condom here.
That's a union note.
Yeah, that's an actual union note.
Yeah.
One of the fun things I like is that when I was doing my family research, I found my great grandfather's enlistment papers
Oh, that's
into the Union Army.
That's super cool.
And he was in Missouri, and it's a plain back.
Yeah.
But he was in Missouri, but Missouri was, even though technically a border state, a union state, it was divided.
Right.
So you got your defense bonds, which are Confederate, and then you have the actual ones here that are Union. And I got one last one that I really like. This is a Confederate note.
That's good. So this is like, yeah.
No. Actually, I think this was right before the Confederacy.
Yep. Got the sailor.
Like you said, the
random maiden
Southern Belle.
Don't know why.
And then the back is just.
Oh yeah. Cool.
So this is from the same bank as the Dixie note, but I won't go off on my tangent that I normally.
Well, we'll get to that now when we get to the.
So what? You don't want to say that's where the Dixies were?
Well, that's where they were. Just wasn't that. Rob, I want to go. Can I share one more time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. Ontario, you're up. Fire up, Ontario.
You had a note from a city that didn't exist. I bought this one for the same reason. Magnolia, Florida. Doesn't exist. So today.
Florida's another tough, obsolete state bank note to get.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. That's cool. What do you got? Poseidon there? Is that what's going on?
I think it's Archimedes. And the lever lifting the world. Or something.
Oh, that's right. I can't. It looks like. Yep.
Yeah.
They had a lot of symbolism.
Oh yeah. What you got, Dan?
Hold on. Of course. I've got to say I want to share.
Yep.
Oh no, Rob, you could. I don't have to share anything.
Okay. Well, Ontario wanted to go over some of these here.
So my favorite series.
Oh yeah, that's a great bank. That's a great bank.
So Bank of Washington, sidebar here, if you didn't see the video, Bank of Washington is the first town, city, whatever, named after George Washington.
Oh,
but
cool.
they had the three, they only did these four denominations. And you can see if I'm getting 64s, these aren't expensive, folks.
No, they're not.
They are. Then this is possibly my favorite note.
That's pretty.
George and Martha before the educational note even thought about it.
Right.
And these are all uniface backs. By the way, they said this one had details. I can't remember. Stains.
Oh, yeah.
That one kind of pissed me off when that came back, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, it does have stains. But
that don't bug me any though. I mean,
no, don't let that affect you for obsoletes. It doesn't. I don't think for buyers.
I mean, you get ones that have the burn through because of the
right.
bowling, and
you'll see this. Rob, this also. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
No, I was just going to say it's just part of the time period.
And you look at the date. Is this a Confederate? Is it? No, it's not. It's not considered a Confederate note because it's a local bank issuing it. Right. But you'll see this vignette on some Confederate notes also.
Right. Well, isn't some of that staining could be from the manufacturing process too?
Could be.
So there you are.
And then your $10, and that's the notes they printed for that series. So that's the other aspect of collecting these. It's just like the 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, whatever, they ran these in series that you can get.
Right.
Now, I want to show one more thing because I've got a good example. I'll show you how. Let's see if I can get a light on this. We'll do that. I don't know if you can. Oh, light. Can I do a good example of that? I mean, this is the thinnest I've ever seen. This, I can't give a good example of it, but I guarantee you're probably going to see.
Oh, yeah. You can see it
You
through.
see how thin that is? I mean, this is tissue paper thin.
Yeah.
And
But-
the thing, people carried these with them.
How did it even survive 2 transactions?
I don't know.
How did they sign it back then with an inkwell pen?
That's the good question.
That's a good question.
All right, I'm done with show and tell for me.
Okay, I got one more, and then Ontario, and I got to show you how some of the notes are actually priced in the recent auction. But I just want to share this one. I bumped my camera, so it's all out of sorts. But this is like Dan's. You'll find this vignette on a lot of notes.
That's a great note. That's fantastic.
1854. Beautiful note.
Beautiful.
Indiana, Muncie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, Indiana, yeah, that's pretty.
But I mean, to think about like how did they sign these? Them being this thin.
Good question.
They were all hand cut, hand serialized, hand signed.
Well, and that's another way to collect when you bring that up. It's like, yeah, collect the same note from different banks that had the same vignette on it.
Yes, absolutely.
But
Like
this would be
George
considered scrip
See how many
because
George
it's from the
Washington-
railroad company.
Railroad company, yeah. But it's a beautiful note.
But plain back.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to bring this up, and if you want to talk about it,
Yeah, I'll talk a little
Ontario,
bit.
as we go through it.
Yeah, this was these are some notes that sold in the Heritage Obsolete auction last week. They had over 600 lots of just obsolete currency. So if you would go to the next one, Rob, you might want to talk about that because I know you were interested in that note.
Okay, so this note here is actually an advertising note, which is yet another part of the rabbit hole. But what this is a store that, basically it was a coupon. Bring this in, get a discount, what have you.
Yeah.
I see why did you buy this note, Rob?
I went after it, but I lost it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am
But
too.
this is actually from my hometown.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And, I'm from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and I've seen this out there. And, it's even an error note because it's got a gutter fold over here on the right-hand side.
Yeah. It does.
It's great.
But, I was willing to go like 250, maybe 275. But when it went over 300, I said, no, I can't justify that.
Yeah, yeah.
Not right now.
But speaking of, so advertising note, again, another part of currency
Yes,
or obsoletes.
yes. Okay.
But whatever.
Are they saying you get anything off? I mean, because that's just an advertising note. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, that
I
is
think
an
it was
advertising.
just an advertising note. I don't think it was a coupon.
50 units means nothing. That's awesome. I'm sorry you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Yeah, I'll get one someday. But obsoletes from like my personal hometown are crazy hard to find. I found one that I looked at and the price was over $1,000. I was like, no, I can't.
Well, that's a lot.
Not yet.
Yep.
Let's move to the next one.
That's just a beautiful note, nautical scene, Webster. Also, this note came with a print of the vignette on the lower left there. If you go to the next slide, that also came with the note. So for $312, you got the note and a print of the vignette.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another thing you'll find out there, and Dan had the guest on who was the doctor that buys the plates. Well, you'll see the
Yeah.
you'll see the plates out there every now and then.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And he has the plates in the printing press. I mean, I was like, wow.
That's cool. All right. Now, go ahead, Rob. I know you know about this.
Okay, so Fernandina's just outside Jacksonville. In fact, it's pretty much part of Jacksonville. I live outside Jacksonville, but these Florida notes, the railroad notes, the Tallahassee railroad notes,
yeah,
they're not really rare, like you said, but they are popular.
Yeah,
and because they are popular, the price goes up, and you see that beautiful red, and you can tell that's red. That's not orange.
No.
Even after 100 years.
I call this note, to me, the note is so ugly, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just like me, Ontario. Just like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, you got that red underprint, and then you got the third printing, I guess, is the 20s inside the little doily shaped things.
Hey, Star Atlanta says this is the note I bought.
Ah, you're the one that ran it up.
Nice job.
Nice.
Way to go, Mr. Lee. They are very in demand notes. I mean, one, it's Florida. Florida's a tough, obsolete banknote state, just like it is national banknotes.
Right.
But this one, that bright red, that red, man, it
just pops.
It just pops.
It really does.
And you think about it as far as how it's printed. It's just not a swath of ink. Notice the 20s, the Roman numerals and the denomination is not covered. So they took an extra step to cover that part of the note up to not get that ink on there.
Right, correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking like modern day currency where you got first print, second print, third print.
By the way, speaking of, I saw that Star ATL asked, did the American Banknote Company print notes for both the Union and the Confederacy? The answer is the short answer is no, but the long answer is yeah, they did print some, and they continued to issue them before. But like a bank bought it before the outbreak of the war, so they had their next year's supply. Right?
They just kept issuing them.
Yeah.
They could not get Now, was things getting snuck across the border? Maybe. I don't know if it'd be worth. American Banknote Company, National Banknote Company, they were all doing some shady stuff when the war hit. So,
but I mean, you look at a lot of the Confederate notes; they have right on there. It's printed by a different company altogether.
Altogether, yep.
Once they got to that point,
right?
But like Dan said, when banks bought these, they bought sheets. And on each sheet, there was 4 notes on each sheet. And, they bought stacks of sheets, so they had them. And they remained in there for them.
Yeah.
So you're going to use it.
Lee, I can't confirm 100% that it, I mean, if you're talking actual the Confederate States of America, I'm not going to say it wasn't out there. I'd highly doubt it, because if the American Banknote Company is printing true Confederate States of America notes, I guarantee you the Union probably would have done something about that quickly.
Right.
But I can never say
let me make this me big real quick.
Yep.
I got this book. No, I don't have it here. I thought this was it. But I have a book that is solely on counterfeit Confederate notes.
Oh, wow.
That the Union flooded the South with to help break the economy. So, the American Banknote Company had to take place in that.
Oh, I see.
A quick issue, state issued, they might have issued state. again, if they did, my guess is that they pre-ordered it before the war break out and they had it for another year after that.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
The counterfeit is much more. I mean, I always kind of, people, when I talk to new folks that are concerned about counterfeiting with collecting U.S. currency, it's almost impossible to do it. Does it happen? Yes. It seems to have happened more with obsolete banknotes, but like Rob said earlier, they're actually worth more sometimes than the real note. So
I got this, and Dan, when I told you it was Dayton Bank, I found it. It's not. But I got this as part of a lot. And let me swing.
Oh. Yep.
This is a counterfeit note that I bought in a lot of other notes, but it's a contemporary counterfeit. It's from the time period.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, that's a beautiful note in itself.
I'm curious if it even was a real.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that
a real bank?
Made up?
But yeah, I got that. Like I was saying, in Heritage, when I bought a lot, I obtained that. So, I wasn't even buying it for that. And then I read the description and it said about containing this counterfeit note. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now this note I love.
It's a great note.
I have this note in my collection.
That is a busy note, isn't it? It's got everything on it.
But like you see, it's not an expensive note for a grade 64.
64 went for $228. That's a great note.
And this this just cracks me up because it's like normally the folks who own the Bank of DeSoto, president or whatnot, they are going to be the ones choosing. They're going through a catalog saying, I want this vignette here, this there, do this here. And do you have a maiden that's kind of like saluting? I really dig that. I think that was great.
With the wrong hand, too.
I mean, it's just like, what's going on? I mean, it's kind of, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But also looking at the pulling the hay wagon with the guy just kind of taking a snooze while we're walking around. You got
a semi-naked woman that we can put on there too.
Yeah. Throw that in there too.
Hilarious. What is this, a Roman soldier?
Yeah. All right.
There's no rhyme or reason to some of this, but I mean, I just love this note. Like you said, it's so busy that makes it pretty.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But, this one's a 64, a 228. If you had a lower budget, you could probably pick up, a 35, 40.
Exactly.
For $100.
Yeah, exactly. All right. There's another one. Yeah. That's a pretty note, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little steep, but that's just what they sell for. Very popular.
They are popular. Yep. This is actually during the Confederate period too. So.
Right.
Wow. Late in the Confederate period, it's like, could they, were they finding the paper to print it on?
Which you have that one note out that we were looking at earlier, where they printed on top of another.
Oh yeah, I can get it.
Yeah, this was probably printed. It's probably like you said, Dan. This thing was probably printed before the. Well, no, I see it's probably got 1864.
Yeah, I think it's legit.
It's got 1864 printed on it, so it can't be.
But I mean, paper was scarce.
Right.
So, they ended up printing on the back of other things.
Right. Right. True. Very true. Oh yeah.
So Dan's going to show here.
This is weird because somebody took the time to take multiple notes and cut them up and try to put them together as other notes. So this is technically, I believe, the back of the note, but if you were to flip it over,
Oh, wow.
this is the savings and loan. Mechanic Savings and Loan is notorious for these.
Oh, and Set Savannah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got one of those somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it's like, I just wanted an example.
Yep.
Got this off on Heritage, and I think it was $80, but it was so bizarre.
Yeah.
They taped it together, but they literally piecemealed, and I don't know how many notes they actually went through to splice this. These are three different notes, but it's really about what's been printed on the back that's really kind of what's saying the story there.
Wow.
So that's just kind of a cool thing to have,
right.
in your collection.
Right.
All right. Let's bring that back up.
Go to the next one there. Yeah. Such a pretty note there. Again, with all the colors and a little more expensive than I would want.
Sorry about that.
Right. Probably you're paying for the Rarity there, $100 bill, I would think.
Rarity and the color combination.
I have some notes on that bank, and they were not expensive, but that 100, I guess, is.
Well, like you said, popularity.
Yeah, really pretty.
I know Lee, Star ATL, is probably just going, where's all the Alabama notes?
Oh, we got one coming up. Right there.
There we go.
Selma, Alabama.
Those are some cool vignettes again.
And I know when these come up, and Lee, if you're here, maybe you can tell us in the comments. These notes always bring, a lot of money. I mean, $400 to me is a lot to pay for that note, but
yeah, Lee is as close to Alabama obsolete banknote collector that I know of. I mean, he's an expert for that most. He's driving.
He's driving. Okay.
And listening to us. By the way, Martin Bowen, you've asked that question. I'm sorry, I was going to address it. Do we all collect continental currency? And by the way, is continental currency and or colonial, they are two different things. They're not considered obsoletes, but I do not collect them. I have an example of one. I've got a continental banknote.
Yeah, so Jeff Davis, he went ahead. He got one from every colony for colonial.
Did Jeff, did you complete that? Did he complete it, Rob? Is it complete now?
Yes, he completed the colonies.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Let me see.
Jeff Davis, I want to have, if you're not going to go on YouTube yourself, I want to steal you and say, come on in and share that. Man.
Star ATL says Selma is expensive, so. All right.
Oh, what a great train.
This is from my home state. This again is a rare note. I believe the range is something like 9 to 16 known, something like that. So I just thought it was pretty with the train and the orange.
So here's what's interesting. South Carolina, right? Who was the first state to secede? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this date. It's 1860, right? Leading up the summer before the election that started it all.
Right.
They're flying the stars and stripes there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's got a counter stamp on it or some sort of cancellation in front of the train.
Yes, it does. I'm not sure what that is, but I do see that from time to time. Perhaps that is what they use to cancel. Not sure.
Yeah, let's see.
Again,
another beautiful one.
Just too pretty to pass up.
And that up in the upper right corner, that one inside that black, inside that red.
Yeah.
See what I like though, because if I was the bank president making the decision here, I'd be like, okay, you got the note, but, it's missing something. Could you put just the head of a girl right at the bottom, right above Georgia? Just fill that in.
Yeah, we don't.
It makes me laugh. and that's why I enjoy these notes too, because they just do some weird stuff sometimes. Like I got one note that there's a gal in that little space. She's just swimming. I don't know where she's swimming. It's just a gal swimming. That's it. Tiny little vignette.
I have some other notes from this bank, and they were not this expensive. So again, if anybody listening knows why, let me know, or let us know.
I got to throw story to Yellow Bone.
By the way, these are pricey notes. I mean, yeah, these notes are what we're seeing there. Alabama Montgomery.
Well, that's cool.
1864, so that's Confederate.
But yet not considered a Confederate note. That's what's funny. But is it? It's issued by the state of Alabama.
Yeah. So I consider it a Confederate. It's not CSA, but it's Confederate.
Right. And that's where it gets muddy with that going. I lean towards this is an obsolete, but it doesn't.
But this is what I like.
You're picking peanuts. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Let me get this.
That's cool.
Wow. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that said lithographed by, printed by who?
At the bottom.
I never heard of those guys.
JT
Patterson.
Patterson and Company.
Huh.
Very cool.
That is very cool. Wow.
But when he said about the Alabama notes, I had to throw him a bone.
Yeah. There you go.
Do we run through our list, or we yeah? Tell me when you're done.
Well, we're getting close to the end of this. Go ahead to the next one, Rob. I love this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
These are expensive, no question about it. But if you look around, I think I recently saw one in an auction that went for like $300. Now, of course, it wasn't this high grade, but
we're getting into that Mormon money again.
Yeah, beautiful notes. That vignette goes all the way across the note.
Yeah, I mean that is the note.
Yeah, it is. Right. Correct.
I mean, that's a territory note too.
And here we are. Dan.
Oh, you had to do this.
I had to throw the last one in here. Piece note. We don't have to go into it very far, but
is that one in Dixie Notes?
Yeah.
Okay,
and so the next slide is the back of it. So you can show both of those real quick, and we can move on if you like.
Well, I got to give the disclaimer. It's a great note. This is a great bank. If you just collected from these, there's like 2 or 3 banks. The Canal Bank, I can't think of the other one offhand out of New Orleans. Citizens, yeah, this one. Citizens and the Canal Bank.
Yeah.
They made awesome notes, great color, and they had backs. But and I'm not saying, I'm the historian guy of the Western Hemisphere here, but I am being snotty. This note, if you go back to the front, would you, Rob?
It's back up.
Graded note. So I'm sorry. When was this issued? 1860s. Okay. Yeah. This note gets credited in the 100 greatest American banknotes as being, and they're not the only ones. They just didn't do their research, in my opinion. They say, big surprise, Dan. Thanks, Dean. I'm going there. They credit that Dixieland is named after this note, this particular note. And are you telling me that by 1860, when the song, the Dixieland, the song was written, so it's popular enough already to write a song about it? By the way, side note, Abraham Lincoln loved the song, and he had it played during his campaign in 1860 if he had a band going on. So there's just no way that this banknote was the reason that the whole entire southern region got named Dixieland. I'm not even going to go into the Dees and the Dicks, and that's why Dixie, that's credited. But I'm not saying that a banknote couldn't have done that too, by the way. Just let's go rewind 25 years. They had a note from the Citizens Bank. It could have been another bank too, that had D-I-X, Dix in French, or Dix, because we're Americans and we don't say anything correctly. There's just no possible way that this note named Dixieland. There's no way.
Right.
Mason-Dixon line has a lot better merit to saying
yes.
There's a couple other theories out there, not as strong as that one, but I'm not saying that the 1830s, 40s $10 note from the Citizen Bank could have, which did have D's printed on the back. I'm just saying it drives me nuts with this note that this rumor, this keeps getting perpetuated. It cannot be true. It cannot. 1860s. Anyways, thanks for letting me rant.
There you go. We better talk about our list.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Now I'm going to share. Let's see if this can work here.
Let me see if I can remove this. There we go.
Screen.
And go back to. And then when you share, we'll bring it in.
All right. You guys see the dummies again?
Yep.
There we are.
All right. Super duper. So, this is Ontario's fault. Thanks, Ontario.
You're welcome.
Blame it on Dean.
We all wanted to put some notes together, and we might see some duplicates in here that were, relatively inexpensive too. And again, we're grading VF, but there's some cool notes with color that will make this list. It's just a slideshow. I'll probably, it's a slideshow that you'll go through and open up Google presentations that anybody can do if you have a Google account and see it. And that will be in the description below for that. But notice we have the pricing out here. Kelly Book estimates this. Whitman, it's all at the top. There's some other denominations. We're not going to go too deep into it other than just quickly go through the notes and just say, you guys already saw this.
Yep.
On that. Again, by the way, don't trust the Kelly Book. I got this note for $30 or less. Kelly Book is saying 110.
Yeah.
So
I see this as a starting point for collectors. This list will help you identify banks and script that is usually reasonably priced. And like Dan said, don't pay a whole lot of attention to the prices. They're just guides.
Yeah.
So I went and threw in, there's going to be a note from every single state in this little quick presentation, trying to pick out ones that are cool, that have color, that have the price. And this one's a little bit beat up, but look at the vignettes. I mean, you got the corn on the left. That's so cool with a bale of cotton and the train it's a great vignette, and it has a back.
Right.
Beautiful.
You've got some contemporary, which, by the way, you'll hear contemporary writing on it. That means that it was done back in the day.
Right.
Here's California. I have this note. It's out getting graded right now, but this is a Panic of 1907 script note, and it also has a back.
Yep.
Labor Exchange, again, tougher states. Notice I'm out west. I'm going alphabetical, so we're in Colorado. Not listed in either Haxby. Then you'll run into that if you're looking for obsolete or scrip from around the country, especially in the West.
Right.
But their little message, progress, stop, legal tender, toll gate. Wow. That's a little message.
Plenty.
Silver, gold, we're not going to go into that. This is one of my favorite notes. I have this note. I really dig this note.
Beautiful.
Because how else, Millard Fillmore on a note? Come on. You can't go wrong with that.
No, you really can't.
But a remainder note, notice that there'll be two different prices. Again, if it's a remainder, a lot of remainders are cheaper or less expensive.
They are, yeah.
You got George Washington and his Caesar attire.
Yep.
Wilmington,
I was
Delaware.
going to say, Ontario and I were talking about that earlier. And you think because a signed note, a circulated note survives.
Right.
That's why they're so much more, expensive, but you can pick remainders up relatively good prices.
Yes. And one of those banks that Dan mentioned earlier, we forgot to say that, Canal and Citizens out of Louisiana, you can find plenty of remainder notes from those banks, and they are not expensive.
So here's the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Delaware is a tough state for obsoletes
that's
if you're
tough.
trying. But notice it's 5 cents, folks. This is 1862. This is probably December 1st, probably before fractional currency came out. So again, the government wasn't reacting quick enough, so they had to come out with their own paper money. One of my favorites right here.
Yes. I love that. My first obsolete.
So Bank of St. John's coming out of Jacksonville, Florida, but that cotton, that's just a beautiful vignette.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Augusta Insurance, Ontario threw this one in for very good reason.
Yeah. Just
$150.
Those are very inexpensive. I can find the very fine.
I mean, look at the vignette. I mean, it's just the artistry is unbelievable in the vignettes. Again, here's our maiden back with a different dove.
Right.
The whore.
Now.
Anyways, I just did color whore. But you'll see this printing, this almost micro printing in the background.
Yes.
And that's they call this an overprint. They print the bill first, then they print the rest.
Yes.
So again, our price points on some, you can see the price discrepancy of what Kelly Book is saying and what Whitman is saying. But again, we're trying to show notes.
We're trying to give you a starting point. We're trying to give you some things.
And you really can't go by any of these because the last time any real books were put out been a while.
It's been a while. A lot of these notes do not cost that much.
So a couple states have produced a lot. Georgia is one of them. South Carolina is another one. North Carolina is another one. Alabama. A lot of Michigan has a ton of notes where some other states don't have. Massachusetts, massive amount.
Yes.
Make it so we're in a Georgia spree here. But these green, this green coloring is related to why this is the green from the back of greenbacks of the original currency for the legal tender notes, because this was a patented process that said it could not be photocopied, basically. My terminology is not quite period proof, but you get the point. You couldn't copy green. Well, that's not necessarily true, they found out.
It's just like the color brown that UPS uses. That's copyrighted.
Right.
That exact tone.
And some of these, I don't know for sure, but some of these orange, they did start out as red. Rob kind of hinted at it earlier. This is a red note.
But that
see this gal on the right. This maiden gets used a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and I wonder, it's like, okay, so that's, and I'm not saying she's a handsome woman. I'm just saying that's what they believed was a good-looking gal at the time.
She got the Little House on the Prairie curls going on.
Yeah, that's right. Another Georgian note with the green. There's, you guys have seen that. That's that school warrant note. Illinois, surprisingly, another not so easy state. This is an early note. This is actually my note, 1840, $100 note. But think about the denomination. How much is $100 back in the day? And it was issued of the Office of the Board of Public Works. You're like, well, what's going on there? They were being a bank. They were issuing currency to raise funds.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, skilled labor at that time. I mean, highly skilled labor was only making about $13 a month.
Right.
Sorry, I just crapped us out, didn't I?
I don't know what you did.
Hold the phone, please.
Okay.
I just hit my back button and I shouldn't have. I'll get there.
There you go. We were past Georgia, so we were there. That's where we were. We just hit into Indiana.
Here we are.
These are Ontario.
That's my favorite vignette for the silver dollars and the cherubs. I think the next note, Dan, if you go one more, I think it's another one. Yeah, well, that's the back. That's also beautiful.
Right, right.
And the three cherubs and I love that stuff.
So
Yeah, I
three.
mean, they
three
use this
lions,
on a
three
lot.
nipples. And this is like these 1886 $5 the Morgan back. I mean that's
what they
and
had.
you don't see pigs very often on a bill.
Oh, no. Show the next one, Dan. That's the back of that. Isn't that beautiful?
So again, that's $3. Lion City, Iowa. Iowa's kind of a tough one too. Not the worst in the world, but Merchants Bank.
Kansas, yeah.
Anybody in the comments, tell me who that is, and you get a
Harrison.
attaboy from me. Notice the $3 denomination was very popular, by the way. I don't know what's going on with this poor bastard, but he's had a tough day.
He's had a rough day. Is that William Henry Harrison, was it? Yeah.
Frankfort, Kentucky. Guess what's coming? Yep, we already saw this.
Yeah, we saw that.
This is. You can find this banknote a lot cheaper than $100.
Yes.
Yeah.
This, and it's going to be new or remainder. They're all. I have yet to see a sign note of this. If you got one obsolete banknote, I would say this would be it.
Beautiful.
The eagle is just stunning.
Dean is asking, why did they cross signatures out on canceled notes? You don't always see that, but you do sometimes.
Yeah, I've never picked up on that, Dean.
I don't know. I don't
This
know
is
why.
Rob's note. I have the 100 of this version. Think about how much money that was, though. $50. And, oof. But notice the value on that. $40.
Yeah.
I mean, and the back. I mean, it's amazing. Here's another good Rob note. This
Right.
I love it. The parish of Concordia from this, New Orleans, I'm assuming that's where that parish is.
Yeah.
Here's where you start to see a little bit of Confederate notes.
In fact, I believe that one has the disclaimer going across the top. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh yeah,
about the
after the
truce between the CSA and the United States.
Yeah, but here's where you start. Confederate, the engraving, they're not getting anything from the North anymore, so they got to come up with their own.
Yeah,
but it does have a cool back on it.
Go back, yeah.
And Rob's baby bonds.
We did that. Yep. That's the canal, man.
Did you show this, Rob?
No, I did not.
This is Rob's note, but I mean, the sailing, if you're into ships and stuff, man, this is one of the best vignettes. It's in motion. It's cool.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I love this note.
Yeah, that's the one I have. But that's
another great railroad. I mean, this is probably one of the larger vignettes you'll see.
Yeah.
And again, it's hanging between $100, $150. And again, that's a guesstimate.
Yeah.
This is getting into industry, showing the mining, of course, coming out of Pennsylvania or Maryland.
It's Maryland, yeah.
I don't know. Sneaky Pierre. Is Maryland known for its mines? It's an ugly maiden right there on the right, though. I'm just saying. That's a handsome young lady.
Yeah.
There's my note. We've seen that.
Yeah.
This is related to Ontario's note that he showed earlier.
Yeah.
These State Bank of Michigan notes, you would, when you get it, you cut it in half.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It's the only one I've seen like this. Coming out of.
And you got, if it was 1/5 of the note there, it was worth this much. If it was half, it was worth this much.
And it says it right here on the 1, 2, 3, and 5. So we've seen. Didn't we show this note today already?
I think we did.
Yeah, Bank of Tecumseh.
Yeah, chickens.
Yeah, the 3 notes. Dayton
Here's my Dayton Bank note. This is out of St. Paul, Minnesota. This poor guy was a real estate developer, and he's got a whole huge. It's in St. Paul. There's a neighborhood called Dayton's Bluff. It's kind of like a Brooklyn, if you could say. It's not near that big, obviously, but it was where are you from in St. Paul? Dayton's Bluff. Oh, okay. What's this guy? This Dayton guy who started his own bank, and he chose poorly because he started it in 1856, and 6 months later, the Panic of 1857, which was a bad one, put him out of business. But on the notes, he made 1s, 2s, and 5s. If you look at his hairdo,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like he'd be called a dandy at the time. But man, and he actually has this picture on his gravestone, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So he was a little bit of a narcissist happening there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not quite as much as Spinner, right?
Here's $50 for this cool note. Cotton.
Yep. Very cool.
1839. Come on.
39, yeah. So not way back.
But notice, and to be paid in cotton. So there is a thing nicknamed cotton note.
Cotton note.
There's the Missouri Defense Bond. We already saw it. By the way, since I'm here, the irony of Missouri and their state seal, 2 bears holding onto it, and their motto is like "one is all" or something like that. And they were the most divided state in the Civil War. This is my note. This is my Montana scrip from the Mining Loan and Investment Company. We actually have it back.
Wow.
We've seen this note, haven't we? Yep, we did.
Yeah.
Already. Daniel Webster, we've seen this.
All that.
Another great eagle note.
I just love the eagle on that. Even though it does have Buchanan on it, I like it.
You got the steamer, you got the back wheel steamer going on, the paddle steamer going on, and then you got Huck Finn floating down the river. It's cool.
That's cool.
I don't know what she's waiting on the right, but we won't go there.
That ship to get in.
This
There you
is
go.
Nevada, the Manhattan Silver Mining Company.
Yep.
These are cheap too, and they're cool notes, different denominations. These are.
I love that.
These almost look like colonial currency.
Well, I think it's 1807.
Yeah, this is early stuff.
But again, very cheap. Plenty of them around.
Yeah, and they're different denominations too.
Yes. Yeah.
A very dour Daniel Webster hanging out.
There is.
New Hampshire. New Hampshire's got a lot of banknotes too.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite. Ontario has this note.
Love that.
But look at how cool this note. So you can see how thin this is going to be. You're going to see the back pretty quick. Great eagle. You got North America over here. You got, whatever. I don't know who's Liberty or who's not, but whatever.
Whatever.
It's just super cool. And the price. The price is there.
And there's the back.
And there's the back.
Shows you how thin the paper is.
Yes. It's about as deep as my personality.
Right.
Another New Hampshire note. This is one of the greatest vignettes too. Piscataqua. That's a river that flows out at Portsmouth, New Hampshire. That was one of the biggest colonial ports for the eastern seaboard.
Cool.
He's got the sextant going on. I know Silver Surfer thinks that's a bottle of booze or a hand-blown blast bottle, I think.
Yeah. Off of the mechanics.
Getting those Native Americans in.
Yeah.
Another great eagle.
Love the eagle on that. Yeah. The name too. Yeah.
Here's the bank that I had. This is the note that I. It's also a 2 with this.
Yeah.
So this is where things get tough for me, but it's still considered an obsolete banknote issued in 1986.
Wow.
It's a revenue bond note. So again, what kind of makes it an obsolete or scrip or a revenue bond? No matter who possesses this, it's yours. Bearer bond.
Bearer bond.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pull back. And again, this is American Banknote Company, modern one. So I thought that was kind of cool. Cool note coming out of New York. New York has plenty of notes too. Old school notes.
1840. That's an old one.
Love the dog. Love the dog.
Oh,
great
yeah.
Note. Stunning.
Very, very common note to get.
Yes.
Very easy to find.
Very
Not
easy.
expensive at all.
Right there.
Again, North Carolina, you're going to see a lot of them. But look at these vignettes. It's just
Beautiful.
Stunning artistry. I don't know what this guy is doing back here, but I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. This is also a bank that's easy to find and purchase. They're not expensive.
We've seen this.
Saw that. Yeah.
Very cool vignette here. There's the 4. We saw that. Another 4. Bank of Cape Fear. They've got some great notes.
Yeah, they do.
But they're a little spendy. But I wanted to show them because there's some great notes. They used color and come on, Bank of Cape Fear.
Cape Fear, you got to have one of those.
There's my North Dakota. You saw that. Again, I'm trying to get all the states in there.
All right.
Manhattan, Ohio, and I gotta love the dog. Come on. $3 bill. Have no idea who this is. The portraits on either side.
Probably the bank owner.
There's my Oklahoma Territory note from Haliola Coal Company, 5 cents.
Awesome.
Washington State. This is another Depression script, Oregon.
Oregon.
Again. I say Oregon. I don't know. What do you guys say?
Oregon.
I say Oregon, but I'm a Yankee.
Yeah. So am I, though. I'd say Oregon. Whatever. Dog.
Yep.
Some guy that looks like Benjamin Franklin.
Probably is. Yeah.
Another cool vignette coming out of Rob's home state. Look at reuse of the same guy, by the way.
Yes.
Must have been a special.
There's your Elvis note.
There's your Elvis note. This is why they call him Elvis. Look at that guy right there. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor moving. Can you see my cursor moving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that glass blowing factory that I was telling you about, that the bank was right next door to the company store.
How
Only thing
convenient.
that's missing on Elvis is a belt buckle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's there.
I tell you, Elvis didn't die. He just went back in time.
Yeah, just like that. That's great.
There's
Yeah,
my. There's not. This is not my 3,000. Mine's not nearly that good.
That's a nice note.
Okay, this one I want to pause on. You'll see this vignette on the left come up with the sailor running the anchor thing, right? It doesn't have the sticks in it to reel up the anchor. That's what he's leaning on over here.
Right.
But you could put together a great collection of George Washington.
Yes.
And that's really, really cool. Do it with some other folks too.
Yep.
Here's the sweet
potato
potato
dinner.
meal. Gonna have some sweet potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah. That's pretty. No, those are not expensive either. Not
But
expensive.
they are popular.
Very
Yeah.
popular.
Do not get suckered in at a currency show spending more than. Yeah, these I've seen these. I noticed it's 1872 and South Carolina's getting around the currency law. I can't remember the revenue bond script. They're getting around the law.
Probably railroad.
This was a railroad bond
Railroad, that's
to
right.
help
Yep.
alleviate the reconstruction of the Blue Ridge Railroad.
Right.
Do we even know who these two guys are?
Yeah, one's Moultrie and one's Sumter.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
that Sumter as in the Fort Sumter?
Maybe
Probably.
so. I should know that, but I think
I
so.
don't know.
That's old Calhoun over there.
Here's Mr. Calhoun. Don't know who the other guy is. Could be the president of the bank.
I forget right now, but yeah.
Love this note. This Ontario has this note.
It's secession.
Ontario, does this bank still exist? Building?
Buildings still exist. The building's there. The bank's not there anymore. The building.
Did you go have lunch there?
No, that was another city. That was a different.
Okay, all right.
But I did go to one. One of them is the restaurant. One of the old bank buildings is now a restaurant, but not that one.
Another
I
great.
just love the color.
Love the Revolutionary Soldier up there.
Yeah.
And you got to have the Palmetto tree. Is that right?
Not a tree, yeah.
Yeah, you're in South Carolina.
Like a train back there. There's Bank of
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Bank of Georgetown. South
You see
Carolina.
that? You see that vignette at the top a lot on that Georgetown note. But anyway, go ahead.
I don't want to go backwards, so because I
Yeah.
tried going backwards the last time.
Yeah.
Here's that 1/5. We saw that.
Yeah.
Lawrence Bank, Tennessee. Tennessee's got some nice notes.
Beautiful notes. They
Yeah.
do.
Again, I don't know what she's going to do with that sickle, but this guy's ready.
He's ready.
I mean, when I go to work at the forge, this is how I dress. Just FYI for everybody.
Right.
TMI, Dan.
I
TMI.
mean, it's just like caveman blacksmith guy.
That's too much information, yeah.
Got your woodsman.
Oh,
Two random dudes.
yeah.
Great Indian scene.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Bank of Texas. I tried not pulling. I'm glad you pulled out your Republic of Texas. But Texas is really expensive, folks. They're very expensive.
Yep.
And even in the auctions, the regular nationals from Texas go for a lot of money.
Seen this.
That's pretty.
Seen this.
That's pretty neat.
At Virginia. Tacoma, Washington. Another scrip note.
Yep.
Depression period. I like this note for some reason. It's well balanced.
Yep.
West Virginia. Here's my Wisconsin note. This is right across the border, 10 miles away from me, Hudson, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a semi-tough state also. But what's cool is that they threw in the green right here. It's kind of a very simple note.
Yeah.
The little details of printing the green. Notice it's issued by the city, so the mayor would have signed it if it's not a remainder. You've seen that one?
Yep.
Bullion Bank, Washington, D.C. District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. You'll also see Georgetown.
Right.
That's all the same area. District of Columbia. They've got some great banknotes, too, coming out of there.
Those DC notes go pricey sometimes.
Yeah.
They can.
Look at this is why this one's pricey, because that's the reverse.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that I think they have a 1, 2, 3, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
And that's it.
All right.
Stop sharing. How about that? Oh, there's your Bank of Cape Fear $4 bill.
You were talking about it. I thought I had one. Yeah.
I got to get that. I got a $4 bill collection going. So, scanning back.
Yep.
I'm going to put a quick to see any comments. And if we haven't answered a question, feel free to throw it in the bottom here. Re-ask it.
Yeah.
So, end of the day, my 2 cents is it's I love collecting this. I'm looking for another area. I've completed my 2 collections. So I'm kind of looking for the next step in obsoletes. I would highly suggest be careful. Don't pay too much. But you can find him like Dean Massabesic. What was that? What did he pay for that? $15 for a really cool note. Yeah, it was like a 10, but it still had great color.
Yeah. Take your time, do your research, and have fun. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Buy what you like.
Buy what you like.
Ontario,
you want to share what your experience was at your money show?
Well, you mean just in general?
In general. I mean, you saw a bunch of obsoletes.
It was well attended show. All of the dealers were busy. Everyone I talked to, coins and currency, it was a well attended show. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Kind of thing?
Yeah.
And
there was a lot of obsoletes there. I mean,
a lot of obsoletes. Our state archives people were selling them, and I picked up a lot of our state from our state. They had them.
That's a fresh note there.
Very
wow.
Inexpensive, like $35. So.
That's a cut cancel on that, isn't it?
Yeah, this one is cut cancel too. You can see it right on the corner. I got a little close on that corner, but still, that's a nice note.
Oh, that's beautiful. And like I said, I mean, you look at the Texas notes when they cut cancel them, you see a lot of them missing a triangle out in the middle.
Yeah, this is another. We saw Hamburg earlier, but I just love the colors on that. That note was $40. So.
So there. I mean, that's the area. in referring to Dean's note that he got. I mean, it's like, yeah, for everybody, he paid $18 for his note. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can put together a really nice collection. Again, I probably have 70 notes, I think, and I averaged $109 on them. So
Right.
there was a lot of inexpensive notes that it's kind of fun to put together, or just concentrate on one thing.
Right.
And you can get lost like anything on other stuff.
Absolutely.
You curate what you're going to collect.
Yep.
So nobody. That's it. That's all. No questions. Obsoletes. Is that a good 101?
Yeah, we've been talking for 2 hours. So.
Well, it seems like 10 minutes. You guys know me. This is a short video for me.
And we didn't go off on one rant.
Yeah, I kept one. Yeah, just one. And it was a short
one. It was only a quick one about Dixie.
How fast did it take Big Apple to either A, fall asleep, or B, get bored and jump off?
I don't know.
No sidebars. I had kind of like a couple sidebars already. Martin, yeah. I don't know, but I don't know. I can't. I mean, for me, as I've been collecting for 20 plus years, and Obsolete's really reinvigorated my passion for other currency also. Where it's something new. I'm learning new stuff, exposed to new stuff, terms.
Yes.
And they're just cool. And I get some weird stuff just because it's weird.
I mean, Obsoletes feeds into my recent obsession with foreign currency.
Yeah.
For the older foreign currency.
Yeah, if you're watching Rob's videos, you can definitely see a pattern of direct link to the artistry going back and forth. I don't know. It's just funny. I saw the comment that our currency
boring.
Yeah, I mean,
how great is this? I mean,
that sucks donkey. I mean, that is just terrible. I mean, but the vending machine industry, you want a sidebar? That's why we don't have a new $1 bill, folks, because the vending machine industry got their folks in, they got their into the Senate and Congress and passed a law to that the $1 cannot be without another law change. It cannot be redesigned.
And what's bad is it's outdated already because the machines take the 5s, the 10s.
When's the last time you used cash? It's scan.
Right.
I mean, it's like, anyways. But I actually think our modern currency is, I'd give it a B-. It's not horrible, the modern stuff. It's just, it's been 25 years. And I'm looking at some stuff that it's like is 50, 60, 70 years old from other places that have more. I'm doing a video right now that I'm talking about a €0, which is basically a postcard.
Yeah.
That has more anti-counterfeiting devices than our modern currency. So,
wow. Well,
but
all right.
I cheated on my first love. Yeah. Yes, the large type. I mean, these are large type notes, though. Did I really cheat, Lee? Did I? This is another reason why I think these notes are fascinating. They're big.
Right.
They're large size notes comparable to large size currency. But this is where I say, I get to a point where it's like, okay, what I need to complete in my collection. I think everybody knows I'm a pretty frugal collector as far as budget. I don't have a huge budget. Yet I want to hit that dopamine hit every once in a while and get something else. And this has done that. And they're just cool. So yeah. I'm open if you want, feel free to reach out, polarcurrency@gmail.com if you've got any questions or issues. Pricing is always, if you got a price question, it's always dicey. All we can do is say, yep, we're getting closer. But here's the deal at the bottom line. I don't really like talking investment, but if you are looking to turn these around and as an investment aspect, you're don't get started, folks.
Don't do that. Can't do that.
I think if I wanted to sell what I've purchased I'd be lucky in 5 years to get 50 cents on the dollar, and maybe they'll gain popularity. I don't know.
You never know. You never
You
know.
never know. You
Right.
certainly
Buy
can't.
these because you
Like
love
you
them.
said, though, it's a collecting, it's not investing.
It's collecting, but bottom line, I think it's good for people to know. I know
Yeah.
us three don't sit here thinking about that, but that's why we're not buying $500. I'm not going to buy a $500 obsolete currency. It's just too much money.
No.
And then that investment aspect does ring a bell.
I mean, that national banknote from my hometown is the most I've spent on currency. I paid $700 for that.
But man, dude, that's
Beautiful
I'm
note.
so jealous that you have that and you got multiples.
Yeah, and there's only 7 on the census of that one I got.
Yeah.
Now, these are not as fungible. You have to, it's like Dan said, you don't expect to turn them around fast.
All right. Yeah, we've been going for a while. 2
Yep.
hours and 6 minutes.
Long time.
I appreciate that everybody coming on. Thank you for hosting, Rob.
Yes.
That was great. Thank
Oh,
you.
no, thank you all for coming out.
So give Rob, I'd give Rob time, let's whatever, 24 hours. I'll put that Google Slides presentation will be available to you. It'll just be a preview, but you're more than happy, and that'll be in the description of this video for him. So there.
I'd like to thank everyone for being here. We appreciate it very much.
Yes, thank you all for coming out. If you
right.
think about it, hit that like button. Subscribe if you ain't already.
That's
You
it.
guys got anything to add?
That's it.
You're welcome. Hey, For Collector, thank you for joining us. For Collector, I know he's a guy. I'm going to plug him again. By the way, if you haven't seen Dean from Matsabesic, I'm going to plug him.
Yep.
Because
Yes.
he does such a great job with his coins and his currency. He does a great job with both. But For Collector, I have a feeling these notes are his sweet spot because he's into the world currency and the really cool notes. And I encourage you to go back and look at For Collector's channel. He's been around for a while and he's got some fabulous collection. Go back and
He's got some amazing stuff.
binge his channel.
Yep.
I can't say that enough. So that is it. That's it. I'm going to get out.
All right.
Good night.
And we forgot to say hey to Cell Block C.
Cell Block C.
No block C. Okay.
All right.
Convict currencies in the house.
Rob, this is your video. You got to close it out like you normally close it out.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming out. Try to do something nice for someone. As always, try to do better. Y'all have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
I can imagine no more rewarding a career. And any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile, I think can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction. I served in the United States Navy.